Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our third annual Florida Jurist Recognizing Hispanic Excellence. My name is Daliah Rosa. I'm Executive Director of the Broward County Bar Association, one of two co-hosts for this program. Our second co-host is my good friend, my good buddy, Aaron Gibson. He is past president of the Broward County Hispanic Bar Association, past president of the Broward Inns of Court, and secretary for the Broward County Bar Association. He's also owner of Fort Lauderdale-based law firm, Gibson Lawyers. Welcome, Aaron.
Thank you, Braulio. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We have a great program for all of you this evening. 3 years ago, in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we decided to create this program to unify the entire state of Florida's Hispanic legal community. And we are so proud that the event continues on today with more and more involvement throughout the state. Just like the last years, today we're going to be honoring and recognizing some really great Hispanic jurists across our great state of Florida. But this event could not be possible without all the great organizations that are co-hosting with us and partner to make this event possible. Braulio?
Yes, this event is only possible with our partner host organizations. And off script, Gary, our president, Gary Lesser, and I were talking about that earlier, of collaboration and the need for it. And so let me enumerate our wonderful partners across the state. Of course, the Broward County Hispanic Bar Association, the Hispanic National Bar Association, the Cuban American Bar Association, the Tampa Hispanic Bar Association, Palm Beach County Bar Association, Hillsborough County Bar Association, Palm Beach County Hispanic Bar Association, Orange County Bar Association, Hispanic Bar Association of Central Florida, North Dade Bar Association, and the Highlands County Bar Association. Links to their website are posted in the Zoom chat so you can look up more information on these great organizations. And now Aaron will welcome all of the dignitaries who have joined us here. Aaron.
Special thanks to all of the dignitaries joining us. We're thrilled to have you. Starting off with Florida Bar President Gary Lesser, thank you for being here. And then from all of the different circuits, all of the judges we have joining us. From the Ninth Circuit, judges Tarlika Navarro, Luis Calderon, Christine Arendas, Laura Schaefer, Mark Bleckham, Tanya Wilson, and then from the 11th Circuit, judges Christina Correa, Scott Janowitz, Christina Miranda, and Nushin Saifi. From the 15th Circuit, Judge Daliah Weiss. From the 13th Circuit, judges Miriam Valkenburg and Michael Bagay Hernandez. And from the 17th Judicial Circuit, long list, so don't hold your breath, Chief Judge Jack Tudor, judges Ari Porth, Michael Robinson, Ginger Lerner-Wren, Jackie Powell, Carolisa Phillips, Susan Auspector, Yale Gam, Stacy Ross, Florence Barner, Kathleen McCarthy, Stacy Ross, Catalina Avalos, Peter Holden, Fabian Fanistock, Dan Casey, George Odom, Michael Davis, and Magistrates Lucy Ramos Miller and Magistrate Rudy Morrell, as well as retired Judge Ilana Holmes and new Judge-elect Lauren Alperstein. Thank you, dignitaries. If we missed your name and you are in the webinar, please notify us in chat. Braulio?
Okay, and now we have our wonderful Chief Judge Jack Tudor. Chief?
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's my honor here this evening then to do the introduction on behalf of the 17th Judicial Circuit and the Broward Bar for the program tonight honoring Hispanic excellence. I also want to recognize the folks we're recognizing tonight from the 9th, 10th, 11th, 13th, 15th, and 17th Judicial Circuits, and particularly our own Judge Frank Ledee, who's with us this evening. Frank, congratulations to you for this well-deserved recognition. I also want to recognize Judge Altonaga from the United States District Court, as well as President Lesser. I particularly want to thank Braulio and all the people on his team who worked to put this program together. Broward kind of spearheaded these statewide participations in these kinds of events, and it certainly been an honor to work with everybody who we've seen throughout the state. Everybody throughout the state enriches us in many different ways. So I'm happy the Broward County Bar Association expanded their tentacles statewide, and I welcome everybody here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Always a pleasure. And now our president of the Broward County Bar Association will do the introduction of President Lesser. Allison Smith, our president, will introduce Gary Lesser.
Thank you so much, Braulio, and welcome to everybody who's on this Zoom call. And congratulations to all the very worthy jurists who are being honored this evening. I wish I could have been in person at the watch party with everyone so we can honor Judge Ledee properly. But I'm actually in another country. I'm coming to you from the beautiful island of Jamaica, although I'm indoors right now. Too bad I don't have the nice scenery behind me. But anyway, it's my honor and my privilege to be here to recognize you, as I mentioned, and also to introduce our very illustrious Florida Bar President, Gary Lesser, who is a wonderful human being, and I've had the privilege of meeting quite a few times. He is the managing partner of Lesser, Landy and Smith, a third-generation lawyer in West Palm Beach, whose firm represents clients and their families throughout Florida. He has continued the firm's tradition of community involvement and has been involved in leadership positions with numerous legal, charitable, and community building organizations, locally, statewide, as well as nationally. His decades-long commitment to the Florida Bar includes 10 years of service on the Florida Bar Board of Governors. He was the chair of the Florida Bar legislation for 3 years in a row, chair of the Professional Ethics Committee, and served on the Strategic Planning, Disciplinary Review, Communications, and Board Review on Professional Ethics Committees. He's the managing partner of the firm, and as managing partner, he's one of Florida's leading personal injury attorneys. He handles a large number of high-profile personal injury cases, and he's lectured at seminars all over Florida on topics of personal injury and various ethics issues, and has been featured by local and national media outlets regarding personal injury cases, important ethical and legal issues, and his service, of course, to the community. He's held active leadership positions with the Legal Aid Society of Palm Beach County, the Economic Council of Palm Beach County, the Homeless Coalition of Palm Beach County, the Jewish Federation, and the Business Development Board of Palm Beach County. Please join me in welcoming our wonderful president, Gary Lesser, a great human being and somebody who's a wonderful asset to all of us. Thank you.
Well, thank you, President Smith, President to President. I appreciate such a good introduction. This is, as Braulio pointed out, the third year in a row that we've done this event. This is my third year of involvement and participation. My first president of the Florida Bar. I've got about 2.5 months under my belt and understand now why the position is only 1 year long. But when my friend Aaron Gibson conceived the idea of this program, and our Braulio Rosa sat down to implement it and reached out to other bars across the state of Florida. Just need everyone to realize that never really happened before. Now, of course, this was necessitated by COVID, which made all of us have to pivot and adjust and make changes we never could have contemplated before. But this program and programs like it are huge. You know, the stated purpose is to recognize the difference in Hispanic jurisprudence across the state of Florida. And that is no, what they're doing with this program is not only uniting the Hispanic bar, but the entire big chunk of the legal profession in Florida. If you think about it, what's the hardest thing to do these days? To build community, to bring people together with shared interests and values. And that's what we've done. Now, I can tell you as Florida Bar President, we have 2 big lifts we're working on. The first one involves the creation of a mentoring program for newer lawyers with 3 years or less experience with firms of 3 or fewer lawyers. And this is a group that often graduates from law school without a job, that isn't getting the mentorship opportunities that a lot of us took for granted and have received over the course of our careers. You'll be hearing more about this. The program will be completed by the end of this calendar year. You can do it in 6 months, you can do it in a year. Let's do it in 6 months. And you'll start to hear in January and February about opportunities to become a mentor. I would urge and request that you all sign up and do so. The second big lift concerns access to justice, what we call access to legal services. Large numbers of Floridians are going without any legal representation at all. And we are focusing on what changes can we make at the request of the court in the world of pro se, pro bono legal, portable legal. we're going to have some good solutions. The court said our report has to be done by the end of December, and it will be. The way we're best going to implement those recommendations and work with the court is working collaboratively with voluntary bars across the state of Florida. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I came up through voluntary bars. Voluntary bars are the lifeblood of the legal profession. We do a lot of heavy lifting. I'm thankful for all of your service. I'm appreciative of the invitation tonight and want to say, can't wait to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary. We greatly appreciate the support. You always support the voluntary bar associations, not just Broward, but across the state. So thank you so much.
I see my friend Governor Roland Sanchez Medina here as well. So he ought to have a good thing or two to say when it's his turn.
He will be coming up shortly, but we have a surprise video message from the Chief Justice Muniz. So if you'll bear with me for a moment, it's a short message and I will share my screen and play that for everyone.
And while you're doing that, special shout outs to 17th Circuit judges Tabitha Blackman and Carlos Rebello. Thank you for joining us as well.
Good evening. My name is Carlos Muniz, and I'm the Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court. On behalf of the entire court, I'd like to congratulate tonight's honorees. And I'd also like to thank the Broward County Bar Association and all the other outstanding organizations that have sponsored tonight's event. On a personal level, I'd like to thank Braulio Rosa and Fred Karlinski for inviting me. Tonight's event is going to be fantastic. We'll get to hear more about these great judges, learn about their stories, and hear about the great work that they're doing on behalf of the people of Florida. These are judges who are excellent both on and off the bench and who are role models, not just to those of you who are out in the legal community, but also to other judges like me. All of us want to show the people that we are working hard to serve them, that we put their interests first, and that we aspire every day to do our jobs as well as we can. And so I'd like to congratulate these honorees again. I'd like to again thank the organizations who sponsored tonight's event, and I look forward to tonight. I know it's going to be excellent. Thank you.
And I believe it's our sponsor, our exclusive sponsor, Roland Sanchez Medina, who stepped up without blinking to support us. Roland, please.
Well, thank you, Braulio. I also want to thank you for the opportunity to sponsor this event, and frankly, being able to identify such gifted and talented members of the bench, Hispanic or otherwise. I don't know all the esteemed members of the bench, but I do know Judge Altonaga and Judge Gamez. And in a sense, they must not get much of a respite from the law since they are both married to lawyers. Judge Altonaga is married to George Mencio, who I actually worked for during my tenure at Holland and Knight. And Judge Gamez is married to Annie Hernandez, who's a dear friend, a past president of the Cuban American Bar Association, and also a partner with Holland and Knight. I see that there's a remote coming in from Holland and Knight, so I suspect there's a lot of attorneys at H&K brimming with pride. As someone who was born in Cuba, I would be remiss by not mentioning how blessed many of us are to be able to live in the United States of America and be a part of its legal system. I think all the judges on this panel serve as a reminder that anything is possible in this country. Additionally, at a time when it must be disheartening to hear public officials unfairly criticize judges, I want to thank them for their public service. And I'm committed to ensuring that the judicial system remains fair, impartial, adequately funded, and open to all. And President Lesser is probably familiar with those terms since it's one of the basic tenets of the Board of Governors of the Florida Bar. And by the way, I will tell you that it's proud to serve as a member of the Board of Governors under President Lesser's leadership and to call him a friend. And once again, listen, thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm really looking forward to listening in to this esteemed panel. And once again, Braulio, thank you very much. Like I said, this opportunity means the world to me. And I look forward to listening in.
Thank you, my brother. We greatly appreciate it. And it's not just me, it's a whole team of people pulling to make this happen. So so grateful to that team. Aaron.
But we all know it's really you, Braulio. Anyways, as Braulio mentioned, tonight's Florida Hispanic jurists are from the 9th Circuit, Judge Leticia Marques, from the 10th Circuit, Judge Peter Estrada, from the 11th Circuit, Judge Carlos Gamez, From the 13th Circuit, Judge Miriam Valkenburg. From the 15th Circuit, Judge Daliah Weiss. From the 17th Circuit, Judge Frank Ledee. And from the United States Southern District of Florida, Chief Judge Cecilia Altonaga, who is the first Cuban-American woman to be appointed as a federal judge in the United States. And we're going to start it with her and the Hispanic National Bar Association President, Frances de la Guardia. President de la Guardia.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Holiday Night out there on Zoom. It's my pleasure to have you this evening as we kick off the Hispanic Heritage Month and honor all these excellent Florida Hispanic. I am Frances de la Guardia, as Aaron introduced me, a partner here at Holland and Knight, and I'm here as my role as Region 8 President of the Hispanic National Bar Association. Holland and Knight has the distinction of having Dan Mateo as the National President-elect of the HNBA, as well as our HK partner, Juan Alcalá of Region 12 President. Holland and Knight also has the distinction of hosting this event with CABA. HNBA has actively endorsed, vetted, and supported judicial candidates of Hispanic background for many years. Throughout the years, HNBA has endorsed hundreds of judicial candidates at the national level. During this current administration, they have endorsed over 75 candidates, and 13 of those are nominated and or confirmed. But tonight, I have the distinct pleasure and the great honor on behalf of the HNBA to introduce and recognize Chief Judge Cecilia Altonaga of the U.S. District Court of the United States District Court of the Southern District. The Chief is a trailblazer. She's a ceiling crusher. She is a true icon, not only for Hispanics, but for legal professionals, but to women as well. As mentioned by Aaron, she was the first Cuban-American judge to sit as the Chief Judge of the Southern District in its 175-year history. Yes, you heard that right, 175 years. When she completed her studies at FIU, her undergraduate studies, she went on to obtain her degree at the prestigious Yale Law School. After law school, she worked at the Miami-Dade County's office, where she also served as a law clerk to the Honorable Edward Davies of the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida. In 1996, Judge Altonaga was appointed by Governor Lawton Child to the county court bench. And then in 1999, she was elevated to circuit judge by then Governor Jeb Bush. A few short years later, in 2003, President George W. Bush nominated her to the District Court of the Southern District of Florida. I had the pleasure of interviewing her earlier this week, and I encourage you all to sign on to the Hispanic Broward Bar Association's website and watch that interview. And during the interview, I learned that she was born in Baltimore, Maryland, from Cuban immigrant parents. She credited her success to her parents, who always taught her that hard work and perseverance pays off, regardless of where you start from. And as a child of Cuban immigrant parents, she lived through financial hardships, including shopping at Dade or Zare, which I very well happen to know for her clothes. We do not have enough time to spotlight the judge's successes and her challenges, but I direct you to her taped interview that we did earlier this week. You can find out some interesting and fun facts, including what movie star she thinks she could play her in a movie. And I assure you, you will see it as soon as she says it, because I did. And you can find out who she would like to have dinner with if she had the opportunity, a famous person. And while Judge Altonaga could not be with us here tonight, due to her prior family commitment, she has taped a message for all of us. Braulio, please roll the tape. Thank you very much.
Would like to thank the Hispanic National Bar Association and Frances de la Guardia and all of those involved in this event for this great honor, and ask that you accept my sincere apology for not being able to be there with you tonight due to a prior family commitment. This evening, you recognize several impressive judges from around the state of Florida. I am lucky indeed to be included among them. The work of your organizations is key to ensuring the diversity of our bench and bar. By having a diverse group of judges, such as those whom we feature here tonight, Our state and federal courts are better able to deliver justice in a way that the parties and the public perceive as fair and inclusive. As the first Hispanic woman to lead the Southern District of Florida as its chief judge, my goal is to foster and encourage an increasing level of trust by our litigants and the general public that the federal courts in South Florida, including in Broward County, are a place where due process of law is observed and applied. In closing, I would like to take this opportunity to let you know that we are working hard on our long-running goal of building a new federal courthouse in Fort Lauderdale. These are challenging times, but Broward County deserves a quality federal courthouse, one where all litigants and those who work there can feel safe and be safe. Thank you again, and enjoy the party.
Right.
Thank you, Chief Judge Altonaga. Thank you, President De La Guardia. We're going to stay in Miami-Dade next for Judge Carlos Gamez. But first, we've got our first fun Hispanic Heritage Month fact of tonight. Do you know what year Hispanic Heritage Month was first celebrated in the United States? Anybody? 1968, under President Lyndon Johnson, it was Hispanic Heritage Week. And then in 1988, extended to an entire month under President Ronald Reagan. Braulio?
I sent them the link. Yeah. Sorry, air traffic controlling.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Miami-Dade County's Judge Carlos Gamez, who's going to be introduced by.
Yes, introduced by Cuban American Bar Association President Miriam Soler Ramos. President Soler Ramos, take it away.
Good evening, everyone in the virtual world and here present. Thank you so much for coming out. What an exciting way to begin Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you to the Broward County Bar for being really the push behind this, the people with this great idea. To be able to connect with our partners throughout the state of Florida is really amazing. So thank you so much, Braulio and team, for putting this together. I have the honor tonight of awarding Judge Carlos Gamez the Jurist of Distinction Award. And I'll talk a little bit more about the judge and why I chose him in a minute. And also, instead of introducing him, I have some questions to ask him that I think you'll find fun and interesting. Also, if you ever don't have anything to do and want to learn a little more about Judge Gamez, there's a 30-minute video that we recorded a couple of weeks ago. 38-minute video that we recorded a couple of weeks ago that goes a little bit more in depth into his story. So I want to thank All at Night for having us here tonight. It's the home of at least 5 CAVA past presidents that I can think of, maybe more. And I want to thank our sponsor, also Vertiva, for putting together some of our samplings this evening for dinner. So thank you so much. So with that, I have the pleasure of speaking to my good friend and Judge Carlos Gamez. Judge Carlos Gamez is in the county court, the court that is the people's court that is so important to administering justice to those who oftentimes do not have access to a lawyer and to people who can help them through the process. So it really is where a lot of justice is served, in my opinion. I chose Judge Gamez, as I told him during our interview, because I believe him to be and have witnessed him be a man that is devoted to his faith, to his family, to the legal profession, who has not taken the traditional route, but rather took many turns to get to where he's at. It just shows you the commitment that he has, and he has already shown us to be an incredible jurist. So thank you, Judge Gamez, for your service to our community. If you'd like to say a couple words, and then I'll be choosing questions.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Holiday Night, for hosting this event. And thank you to everyone that's here on the virtual world. I'd like to also thank my distinguished colleagues that are here present here. Judge Demetrius, Judge Watson, Judge-elect Fernandez, and my dear friend, Judge Stein, and my dear friend, Diana Vizcaino. So I'm thankful for all of you being here and coming through the rain to be here. And thank you for that. And thank you, Miriam, for this. As I told you when you first called me, I was speechless. And I am not usually speechless, but I was when you called and told me about this, and I am so humbled and so grateful for the selection. And thank you very much.
Very well deserved, Your Honor. So can you tell us a little bit about your family's cultural background and what challenges you faced that shaped you?
Born and raised, first generation Cuban American, born and raised here in Miami, and born in South Miami Hospital. Went to public schools, and after high school, went and eventually grew up with my family in the home, mom, dad, and my grandparents. First language was Spanish. When I went to kindergarten, that's all I knew how to speak. So I remember somewhat vaguely because it's been a long time, but I do remember going to school for the first time and not understanding what was being said around me. But I did go to public school and ended up going off to college up to Ohio State, my undergraduate degree there, and got a degree in finance. And ended up working in the financial arena for a period of time. Both my parents were Cubans, came over in 59, 60, and left the Castro communist regime at that time. And so I was born 7 years later and grew up in the enclave that we affectionately refer to as here but grew up in an environment where there were a lot of folks like us, and also a lot of different folks from a lot of different backgrounds, and it was a delightful arena to grow up around.
So it sounds like diversity and being surrounded by other cultures was actually something that benefited you rather than something that challenged you. That's great.
Sure. I'm believe that the more different folks that you're around and you hear from different backgrounds, different cultures, and they all have a way of amalgamating themselves. And so
having had that experience and being in the people's court, do you feel that having a culturally diverse bench is important in knowing how to respond to lots of the melting pot that is the United States, but certainly Miami?
Sure, and I think we talked about that with the longer interview. I went through the appointment process to come to the bench, and it was a question that I was prepared to respond to because it was one that was asked on a pretty regular basis. So the way that I perceive it is, there's a utility certainly in the cultural diversity component, but it's also, from the perspective that I see it, is there's a structural constitution. We have separations of power, and the judiciary has a very unique role in that it's not an advocate role like the legislative executive. So we're to be blind, to be perfectly clear. Now, with that said, serving on the county court where 90-something% of the folks that come before me are pro se litigants. Many times they're coming in, they don't speak any English. I think that there is an aspect of that they come in and they're like, hey, there's a Carlos Gamez up there, and he's just like me. He's got a Z at the end of his name, and there might be an aspect of that gives them that sense of confidence, that trust. I think Mr. Sanchez Medina said it. There's an aspect of that element of trust that they have, and they're going to come in into an unfamiliar environment, not knowing anything about trial procedure, not knowing anything about evidence, and that there's someone similar to them, I think, that is there to serve them while they are going through an uncharted course.
Indeed. So as you know, and as we've said, we can speak about you for at least 38 minutes, but Braulio won't let me because we have to all over the state of Florida on this convention that we're going on. So I'll just ask you to tell me a little bit about how we went from finance to the bench, and please include that little known thing about you, maybe not so little known, but about other talents that you might have.
Okay, going to the as far as the transition from finance to law. I had been working as a financial advisor for about 9 years, and I got to the point where I was very unhappy with it. I married at the time, had 2 small kids at the time, and made a decision to go back to law school in my early 30s. Went through that process, worked through law school, After graduation, thankfully passed the bar and started into private practice. I worked for past president of and ended up going to the city of Miami for a period of time and served as an assistant city attorney.
Under another past president.
Under another past president. There's no shortage of Cabo past presidents. And so ended up marrying a Cabo past president. That really worked out. And so got a lot of trial experience at the city of Miami. And while I was there and a little bit before that, people would come up to me and they would say in mediations or opposing counsel, you thought about being a judge? And candidly, I never thought about it. It wasn't anything that I had ever put on my radar. I have colleagues that, God bless them, they have been, ever since I was a little boy or girl, I wanted to be a judge. That's not me. I never thought about it at all. But it kept happening periodically. And people that I trust their judgment, trust their discernment. And so I figured I heard it enough that it's something I should think about. And then sat down and had a nice conversation with my wonderful wife, Annie, who you know, and also and she, bless her heart, she gave me the green light right out of the gate. And you make a great judge. I think you should do this right now. Don't wait. And so then that started the process of getting the application going. So that's how I ended up on the bench. I applied twice and was fortunate enough to get the nomination twice. And the second time I got the little known fact is that I play saxophone and I'm the lead singer in a rock band. And yes, we just won this past weekend the Battle of the Legal Band. So we were very we tried 4 years in a row and we came second 3 years in a row. So we were very happy to win.
Yeah. And I learned that the judge was also a member of the most popular band in.
When I was in living in Ohio, yeah, we had a very popular band. We toured, we recorded, we played a lot of weddings, we played a lot of gigs, and it was a wonderful time.
A little bit of a wedding singer.
A little. I can sing that. I would play saxophone. That's all.
Well, congratulations, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Braulio, thank you for letting us be part of this wonderful event. And we look forward to the rest of the program.
Thank you, President Soler Ramos. You are a great partner. CABA, we're so glad that the BCBA and CABA are wonderful partners. It's great to see all the judges and the whole, all the presidents. Thank you for being there. And of course, Judge Gamez, quick question. Someone was asking when you're playing again. Someone had sent me a text.
Actually, I have a date. It'll be October 22nd at Sunset Tavern. Please get your boosters in advance. But it'll be Sunset Tavern in South Miami on October 22nd.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you guys so much. It's always wonderful to partner with you. And fun fact now, September 15th was chosen as the start of Hispanic Heritage Month because it's the anniversary of the independence of 5 Latin American countries: Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Also, Mexico's independence date is September 16th, and Chile's is September 18th. And now on to Broward County and Judge Frank Ledee, who will be introduced, recognized, and interviewed by Broward County Hispanic Bar President Nazarena Hauser and Board of Director Mario Lopez. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Braulio. Good evening, everyone. Thank you to everyone who has joined us here at the BCBA Center Live and everyone who's joining us on Zoom. My name is Nazarena Hauser, and I'm currently serving as president of the Broward County Hispanic Bar Association.
My name is Mario Lopez, and I am the chairman of the Hispanic Lawyers Committee for the Broward County Bar Association. I want to thank everyone that's joined us through Zoom and everyone that's joined us and enjoying the food and good times here in honoring Judge Ledee.
This year, our planning committee unanimously selected Judge Frank Ledee to receive Broward County's Florida Jurist Award. A little bit about Judge Ledee. He was born in Puerto Rico. He was an assistant state attorney for over 24 years. During his career, he supervised the Miami-Dade County State Attorney's Office Gang Prosecution Unit, Gun Violence Unit, and the Multi-Agency Gang Strike Force. He directed multi-agency investigations and prosecutions and tried numerous felony cases. He served as a liaison for the state attorney with the United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, the United States Justice Department, and the South Florida High-Intensity Drug Trafficking Area. Based on his extensive experience and contributions to the community, Judge Ledee was appointed to the circuit bench in December of 2018. He's currently serving in circuit criminal, although he is greatly missed in family court. Even now, Judge Ledee continues to support our community in many ways, including being present and helpful at many volunteer bar events in our county. I can personally attest to the fact that Judge Ledee calls me every time there's an event asking how he can be helpful. He is always there to support all of us. So thank you, Judge Ledee, for your continued service. We are honored to present you with the 3rd Annual Florida Jurist Award for Broward County.
Thank you so much, Mario. Aaron, Braulio, thank you so much. I mean, to our extent, to the extended Hispanic Bar Association and the Broward County Bar Association family, I'm humbled and I'm incredibly grateful to you all. You all have welcomed me in to this position, and I can't thank you enough for making it a place where truly I felt at home. In addition, I can tell you that Judge Tudor, thank you for coming to all my colleagues that have taken the time from their busy day to come here. Thank you so much. It just shows the support that I know I depend on so often when I'm on the bench, when I'm in court, wherever it is. I know that I have someone that I can turn to and ask a question or literally look for support. So thank you very, very much. There's somebody very special from the 11th that I want to recognize. Judge Christina Miranda is on there, and she was my former trial partner. So thank you very much. And I had the privilege of appearing before the Honorable Cecilia Altonaga. So thank you very, very much. It's funny, as I was listening to the introduction, there are very few people that can say that they truly appreciate and enjoy going to work every day. I love going to work every day. I've done that for 30 years, and I've always enjoyed going to work because I get to literally participate in the process and be part of a team of people that truly care. I get to serve the public, and I get to do that with some of the finest men and women out there. And it's not only my colleagues, the judges, that I have an incredible respect for, but my judicial assistant that is fantastic, my bailiff, Leticia Johnson, who's fantastic, and my clerks, all of the courtroom staff, and everybody else that has welcomed me in and has allowed me to do and provide a service to the lawyers that I respect so much. So it has been an incredible experience. Thank you for the recognition. And to all of the other recipients out there that are all of the other jurists, I'm humbled to be part of this group. It's such an incredible group of folks out there that are receiving this. So I couldn't do the job without all of you and your support. And I truly thank you for making me feel at home. Thank you.
Well, we're going to do things a little bit different here in Broward County because we want to really get to know our judge a little bit. And we're going to present our judge with, first of all, we've turned our appetizers today and our food to be Puerto Rican food. And we're going to test the judge in a minute about that. But first, we want everyone to know, since the judge is a pilot, we're going to give him something he can display, which is a B-52 bomber. And Your Honor, can you explain to everyone why we're giving you a B-52?
Absolutely. For those of you who don't know, I'm a pilot. I was a pilot when I was 17 years old. And flying for me is a passion. It really is. And one of the greatest things, when I was at the state attorney's office, I got to fly in a B-17 bomber out of Fort Lauderdale. And I've always wanted to fly in a B-52. I've sat in the cockpit. I've literally wished that I've always done that. So when we were talking about that, Mario said, Mario, thank you so much. You know, it's just, this would be a dream of mine to go into fly in a B-52 bomber. And I thank you so much because that's very, very kind of you.
What really struck me is the way you spoke about how flying such a big flying fortress impacted you.
A B-17 bomber, if you all don't know, this was a World War II bomber. And when you get onto that airplane and you actually fly in that airplane, the smell of the fuel that's leaking everywhere and the oil that's leaking everywhere, and you go back and you sit back in the metal chairs and everything, the sound of the engines, those old piston engines, it reminds you of all of the folks that have served this country and that have flown during the war. And it's just, you sit back and you go, how amazing those folks were. And it just, it warms my heart. It really does.
And one of the things that the judge made clear was that his dream, one of his dreams was to fly the B-17. And so he also wants to fly the B-52. So we gave you a little bit more incentive.
Absolutely. Thank you very, very much. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
So for this year's event, our planning committee decided to do something also a little bit different. So our planning committee and Judge Ledee consists of a bunch of Boricuas and Nicas. So as a result of that, we decided to bring Judge Ledee a mofongo from Puerto Rico and un nacatamal from Nicaragua for a little taste test. And although you may be a little biased, I'm sure, about your mofongo, we're hoping you'll like the nacatamal.
Oh, wow.
And of course, what Hispanic celebration wouldn't be complete without food, dancing, but we cannot get the judge to dance, so we're gonna get him to eat some food today.
But, oh, no. It's not only me. This is a family affair, okay? This is a family. I need other.
All for you, Judge.
No. So, to give you an idea, all right? Mofongo is a traditional Puerto Rican dish, okay? It's made out of plantains and it can be filled with everything and anything that you can think of. And this was a meal that was designed literally to have one meal a day. And the folks would go out there and work out there and work and do everything, but it was one meal a day. And mofongo is one of my favorite foods. At the same time, El nacatamal is very similar to that. It's just a different way of preparing it and everything else. And I can tell you, we were talking about this a little while. This is, just to give you an idea, pre-mofongo and pre-nacatamal. This is post-mofongo and nacatamal. So I'm going to taste this. I've been waiting all day.
You're not going to be able to eat for a while after this.
Oh, this is. No. Oh, yes.
You don't have to
Where's
tell
your
me
fork?
twice.
I'm good. Later,
Okay.
Judge. Ruin my
So-
lipstick.
To give you an idea, this has the perfect texture. It is fantastic. And it is really good. It's good, right? It's good.
It's good.
It's good. So now.
We're a little nervous about this.
Oh, no.
Judge.
There's nothing nervous about this. This is like, wow.
It's
Brown County
loaded.
does things differently, right?
It's loaded. For those of you who don't know, it has everything that you can imagine: pork and tomatoes and onions and rice. What else?
This is
not
good.
in there?
This is good. Okay, this is really good. But just to give you an idea, on a scale of 1 to 10, okay, where 1 is I'm really hungry, I'm going to eat it, and 10, my grandmother made it. This is a 9.5.
Yes.
Nice.
This is a 9.5. Okay. Oh my God.
Awesome.
Yes, we will have this.
Great. So you guys can finish now.
And now the judge will give us his mofongo recipe.
No.
That's a joke.
No.
He will not give us the recipe.
All right, Judge, I'm glad you liked it. So Judge Dade, thank you so much for your contributions and your service every day. Thank you to everyone who joined us live at the BCBA Center. Thank you to everyone who's on Zoom. Thank you for coming to celebrate Judge Frank Ledee in Broward County. And that wraps up our segment. Back to Braulio.
Judge, I'm surprised you didn't pick mofongo.
Yeah. While the rest of us salivate on Zoom.
Yeah, no, they look delicious. Wonderful and creative idea. Great idea, Mario. I know you had come up with it, but great execution. Thank you, President Hauser and Chair Lopez. Thank you, Your Honor. Fun fact, which are the top 3 Latin American nations represented in the USA?
By population,
Yep, by population. I'm sure you could guess in order of population: Mexico, Puerto Rico, y Cuba. Aaron?
yes. Next up, we're headed out west to our great friends in Hillsborough County to honor Judge Miriam Valkenburg. And we've got President of Tampa Hispanic Bar Association, Natalia Reyna Pimiento. President.
We have salsa. Can you hear me?
C.
Yes. Okay. So good evening, everybody. On behalf of the Tampa Hispanic Bar Association, I want to thank the Broward County Bar Association and the rest of the organizations here tonight for creating and supporting a space to celebrate and recognize our wonderful and amazing Hispanic judges. And talking about amazing Hispanic judges, I have the pleasure tonight, together with the president-elect of our organization, Amy Ruiz, to present this award on behalf of the 13th Judicial Circuit to the Honorable Miriam Valkenburg. As we all know, the purpose of this award is to recognize the special contributions that our judges have provided to the community, to the legal and the Hispanic community at large. And as a board, we couldn't think of somebody better to be recognized tonight. So, and sadly, we just have a couple of minutes to talk about all her accomplishments, but we'll do our best. And for that, I'm going to invite Amy to give us a brief overview of her career.
Judge Valkenburg is a county court judge in the 13th Judicial Circuit, serving as an acting circuit court judge in juvenile dependency. She is active in several bar associations and professional groups. Examples of her commitment to the legal community include serving as president of the Tampa Hispanic Bar Association in 2014, as a board member for the Hillsborough Association for Women Lawyers from 2013 to 2021, and as the incoming president for the Tampa Bay Inns of Court. Moreover, she currently serves as a circuit representative for the Conference of County Court Judges, serves as a mentor judge, and is appointed to the canvassing board with the supervisor of elections. In terms of her commitment to the Hispanic community in general, Judge Valkenburg served on the Diversity and Inclusion Committee for the Florida Supreme Court Standing Committee on Fairness and Diversity in the courts for the past 4 years. Moreover, Judge Valkenburg has been recognized at the national and local level for her dedication to mentoring other professionals in the community, especially young Hispanics, and for assisting victims of domestic violence by providing free legal services to indigent individuals. In fact, she received the 13th Judicial Circuit Pro Bono Service Award for 7 consecutive years before being elected to the bench. Judge, clearly, this is not the first time you receive an award for your commitment and dedication to the Hispanic community, but we hope the Florida Jurist is one of the most special. Congratulations.
Thank you, Amy and Natalia. Welcome, distinguished guests, and thank you to the Florida Bar President, Gary Lesser, for being here. I'd like to mention that we have among us some esteemed colleagues. I'd like to thank Judge Chief Figueroa for all his assistance and for always supporting me. I'd like to thank my esteemed colleague, Judge Leslie Schultz-Ken, who is present, Judge Manning, Judge Huey, and most of all, a huge thank you to Judge E.J. Salcinas, who has supported me throughout my career and has been an incredible mentor. And I appreciate so much, Judge Salcinas, that you're here with us tonight. I'd like to also acknowledge and thank my family and friends that are viewing via Zoom, and of course to my husband, who's present and always by my side and helping me. I'm incredibly honored to receive this award and to share this evening with so many talented and seasoned jurists. A heartfelt thank you to Broward County Bar Association for spearheading the event, and of course to all the bar associations across the state of Florida, but specifically a heartfelt thank you to my bar association, who is near and dear to my heart, the Tampa Hispanic Bar. Certainly, they will always hold a special place in my heart. Thank you to Natalia and Amy and to the board members for always supporting me. and for awarding me with this very prestigious award. So Natalia was asking, what exactly does this award mean to you? And is extremely meaningful to me for many reasons. First, it is a profound privilege for me to serve my community as a judge. But for me, being a judge is more than just presiding over cases on a daily basis. For me, being a judge means being a mentor. It means working with local bar associations to create meaningful programs that benefit our community. It means being a role model to our rising leaders, and it means contributing to our community, however or wherever I'm needed. Service to our community is a principle that has resonated throughout my life. As judges, we should never lose sight of the significance and the impact that we have on the community that we serve. I'm proud to be of Hispanic descent and am able, very proud that I'm able to relate to the men and women that appear before me. Our judiciary should be reflective of the community it serves. The award is also significant because it highlights and embraces the importance of having a diverse judiciary. I'm incredibly proud that the Florida Bar and our local bar association statewide for this award and for certainly highlighting the value and the importance of diversity. While diversity is not always a welcome concept, it is through diversity that we gain valuable knowledge, understanding, and acceptance of others, and ensure that justice always prevails in our courts. Lastly, I want to touch upon the importance of this type of event. This certainly has united us statewide, and it gives us an opportunity to recognize everyone's great accomplishments. I encourage all the bar associations to continue celebrating their members, their leaders, and to highlight their accomplishments, but not just during Hispanic Heritage Month. Encourage your members to get involved in their local circuit and to take an active leadership role whenever the opportunity presents itself. I will leave you with a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you going to do for others? Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. What a wonderful message you sent to everybody there. But because not everything has to be very serious, we have prepared for you a couple of rapid fire questions. So Judge, please don't think about it. Just first thing that comes to mind, okay? Okay, so what was your first job?
All right. I think I worked at a grocery store, or maybe I worked at Christopher House. It's kind of in between. Not sure.
What nicknames did your parents used to call you?
All right, if I have to disclose it, it's Mimi, but you guys cannot call me that.
Favorite Spanish word?
I don't know if I could say this. I'll just say ay bendito. That's queen.
Favorite day of the week?
My favorite day of the week is now Sundays because my husband has come up with the idea of family brunch every Sunday. So it just brings us together.
Right. Favorite Hispanic tradition?
Buena noche, because of the food, arroz con gandules.
What Spanish word do you have a hard time pronouncing?
Every Spanish legal term. I always fumble, so I'm still working on it.
Okay. How long does it take you to get ready in the mornings?
I may exaggerate. If I say an hour, that may be close to the truth. Generally over an hour. I like my cafe. I need to have my coffee in the morning and kind of relax before I start the day.
Candid question. Answer yes.
Maybe. Scale of 1 to 10. How good of a driver are you?
I would say a 10. My daughter and husband probably say a 2.
Very safe, probably.
Judge, first celebrity crush.
I love Batman, Christian Bale.
Oh, we
Yes,
agree on that.
Mark Anthony or Ricky Martin?
Well, I love the Menudo, so I'm a closet Menudo fan, but I may have to say it's pretty close. It's a tie.
Salsa or merengue?
Oh, salsa.
Salsa or bachata?
Oh, I don't know if it's dance, but I'm willing to take dance lessons.
Would you rather be best friends with Jennifer Lopez or Sonia Sotomayor?
Well, I want Jennifer Lopez, her secret, to look the way she does. I mean, she looks amazing at 50, but certainly I would be honored to be best friends with Sotomayor and to learn from her. Yeah.
What Hispanic food you could eat for a week straight?
Well, I'm a little jealous with the mofongo. So, I don't, mofongo, arroz con gandules, pernil. I don't discriminate. All of it is delicious. But if I had to pick one, probably arroz con gandules.
If you had to change your first name, what would you change it to?
Oh, that's a great question. You know what? I'm not sure. I love my daughter's name, so maybe Eliana. I fell in love with that name. So if I didn't name her Eliana, that's a great name.
If you could live in a Spanish-speaking country, what country that would be?
I'd love to live in Spain.
What's Larynxes?
Lexus,
sorry.
It's a lot easier to use.
Peloton or gym?
Neither. My gym shoes and an open road is all I need. I like that.
I think I know the answer to this. Ropa vieja or mofongo?
And I'm hearing they're sending some over, right?
It's a condition next year. That's it. Thank you so much, Judge. I hope you guys enjoy the presentation, and thank you so much, Braulio and Aaron, for allowed us to be part of this event tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tampa Hispanic Bar. You're our great friends to the West. We love our partnership with you for many years to come, and congratulations, Judge Valkenburg. Our next fun fact, even though Spanish is the official language of most of Latin American countries, can you guess how many languages are in fact spoken across Central and South America? The answer is 370 languages. Braulio?
Next up, Palm Beach County, to honor Judge Daliah Weiss, we have President, Palm Beach County Bar Association, past President, Julia Wida. Julia.
Hi, everybody. That's going to be tough to follow. I want to thank the Broward Bar and Braulio for inviting the Palm Beach County Bar Association tonight. We are so grateful to be here with all of you. We also have the Palm Beach County Hispanic Bar Association Zooming with us in support of Judge Daliah Weiss. She might not be in a band, but she is our rock star. Judge Weiss has served as a judge on the county bench of the 15th Judicial Circuit since 2012. She was elevated to the circuit court bench in 2016. Her parents, originally from South America, settled in Florida when they immigrated to the United States. Her mother, an attorney in South America, passed on her passion for the law. Judge Weiss became a prosecutor with the 7th Judicial Circuit in Putnam County before moving to Palm Beach County in 1996, where she continued her career in public service. As a prosecutor with the 15th Judicial Circuit, she headed up the prestigious Special Victims Unit, where she focused on prosecuting sex crimes and crimes against children. She dealt with many complex, emotionally charged, and high-profile cases, including rape, aggravated child abuse, and neglect. During the latter part of her 17 years of public service, she was chief of the County Court Division, where she oversaw all prosecutorial training, supervision, and mentoring of more than 30 different attorneys. Throughout her career, Judge Weiss has enjoyed mentoring young lawyers. This interest continues with her emphasis on professionalism and encouraging attorneys to work together to resolve disputes before her. Her passion for the law and genuine concern about civility among members of the bar comes across to anyone who meets her. She never hesitates to volunteer for our bar. Whenever we ask her for help, she happily commits and then blows us all away with her words and her positivity. Judge Weiss, thank you for giving us so much of your time and your energy. You inspire us, especially all the female attorneys. We appreciate you more than you can possibly know. You are so deserving of this award. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm hoping you will say something to this group.
Oh, thank you so much. I've got the award with me at home. I appreciate it. I will keep it brief. I know there are so many esteemed colleagues that are getting honored tonight, and I'm really grateful to be amongst all of you. I am really blown away by this. It is, it's unfortunate that I'm one of only 3 Hispanic judges in Palm Beach County in South Florida. People are always surprised by that. It's myself, Judge Artau, and Judge Delgado. And we were just at another event, 2 other events today for Hispanic Heritage Month, and we need to have more. And so I'm always willing and happy to speak to lawyers that are interested in pursuing judgeship. I was appointed by Governor Scott to county and then the circuit bench. And I like to talk to people about that experience and try to be a friendly face to those on their roads to the bench. And I am also so grateful and honored to be, a face on the bench that is representative of our Hispanic community. I think one of the other judges said this earlier, the judiciary should be reflective of its community. And I know in Palm Beach County, we're working on that. So having grown up as the only American born in my family, my mom came from Uruguay and my dad from Argentina, and my brother born in Uruguay as well. I grew up, with not a lot of other Hispanics around me, and my parents were highly educated, but had such thick, heavy accents that I continually had to act as the interpreter, even though they spoke great English, just with a thick accent. I take those experiences with me to the bench, and we do have a lot of Hispanics that are litigants or lawyers or whatever the case may be that I come across every day. And I try to, put people at ease because nobody likes to be in court. So I'm going to leave here. Thank you so much for this wonderful award.
Thank you, Judge Weiss. So well deserving, and hopefully we'll all work together to get more Latinos and Latinas on the bench in Palm Beach. And thank you, past President White, for stepping in and doing a wonderful job.
Thank you for having us.
Fun fact, some celebrities you might not know are have Hispanic roots, and Aaron, you'll have to enlighten us on that one at some point, or at least me. Mariah Carey.
She's a singer.
Do I know that? Helena Bonham Carter, AKA Bellatrix Lestrange. Go figure that one. Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, Vanna White, and baseball great Reggie Jackson.
Next, we're going to go to Orlando and recognizing Judge Marques, president of the Hispanic Bar Association of Central Florida, Cesar Nera. Orange County Bar Association. We can hear you folks a little bit.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Cesar Nera, and I am the president of the Hispanic Bar Association of Central Florida. We want to thank all the associations here today to kick off this grand celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. Part of this event and to be surrounded by what I call family here today. And we're super happy to be presenting this award today to Judge Marques from Orange County. Great impact that it's not going to take one, it's not going to take two, it's going to take 3 speakers to do this introduction correctly. So with me, I have Judge Cecilia, who was the first inductee from Orange County for the Jurist Award. And then we have Judge Pepito, Judge Rodriguez, who was the first Hispanic judge here in the 9th Judicial Circuit to introduce Judge Marques. Judge Marques, she was a public defender for 2 years, did private practice for 12 years, and then plaintiff's work for 17 years. She was one of the first few people to be certified to try death penalty cases. She was the first elected circuit judge woman in our circuit. And fun fact about Judge Marques, she makes a really amazing arroz con pollo. So Orange County, come by. So Judge Loren.
What Judge Pepito?
Judge Pepito.
Thank you for you.
That's quite all right. I keep saying that I turned 1 0 less than 007. Very proud to have hit that mark. As a retired judge, you grow into that spot and you wind up leaving behind, or I should say, leaving in better hands than it ever could have been with the likes of Judge Leticia Marques. I graduated from my school I graduated from law school in 1977. Ledee graduated from high school.
Don't tell people.
She graduated at the age of 12. But the wonderful thing about it is that she not only has brought her skills as an excellent trial counsel to the bench, she also has tried a number of very difficult death penalty cases. Once and sometimes twice because, well, it's required, but she's labored along. She is a phenomenal jurist as well as, and again, that comes from the fact that she was a terrific lawyer. She won election in 2012 and then assumed the bench 2013. And we are the better for her. Sorry.
Yes, we are. Friends have had the chance to tell you about all of her accomplishments. I just want to tell you how she's impacted myself and the Hispanic community. I remember when Judge Marques was standing on the streets with her signs, "Vote for me," back in 2012. And as an aspiring judge,
Estrada.
it was a lighthouse for me. I truly believe that if this woman could stand out there holding out signs, I could do it too. And she motivated me to be able to run for judge. Since that time, without choice, I have made her my fairy judge mother. And she is a mentor judge for so many people. We all flock to her chambers to ask her questions and for advice, and she never says no. She's even volunteered to try other judges' cases because they don't have the time to try, and she's like, just give it to me, send it to me. She doesn't say no. And so I'm so honored to be here to share this day with her, for a judge who gives all, who does all, and who's such a lighthouse for so many Latinas like myself. I wouldn't be where I am today without her guidance, and her sheer love for everything she does. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I want to thank the Broward and Orange County Hispanic Bar Associations so much for this. This is such an honor. I remember getting the email, and I'll be honest with you, when I got the email, I opened it and I read it, I thought, well, this really's got to be for someone else. Let me check this again. I was so shocked to get this. You have such great Hispanic judges in this circuit who are so deserving of this award. I'm glad you followed Gisela, who has way outshone me now as a judge. Anyway, I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank everybody who's on the Zoom. It is an honor to be in the company of the judges who have been honored tonight. But I want to point out that I got the news. Knocked it out of the park. But thank you all very, very much. I appreciate this. Yay.
And just for everyone to see, we're doing a watch party here from the Orange County Bar Association, and Judge Ledee Marques has a really strong support and showing. So everyone here, come over here. Yay! Congratulations, Judge, on a well-deserved award, and I appreciate all your service towards this community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Orange County. Thank you, and congratulations, Judge Marques. Last fun fact, as of 2020, the Hispanic population in the US was about 18% of the total population. It's more than 62 million people. And by 2060, it's estimated will reach 111 million, or 28% of the US population. Braulio?
Okay, and now we are going to have a short video with President Garrett Roberts of Highlands County Bar Association, who's recognizing Judge Peter Estrada. One moment here.
Judge Estrada has been an absolute institution in the legal profession in Highlands County for decades. Proud alumni of University of South Florida and South Texas School of Law, Judge Estrada has given 14 years of dedicated service as an assistant state attorney, prosecuting thousands of misdemeanor and felony cases before serving as a judge. In 2003, Judge Estrada was appointed to the county court bench and served 2 years before his advancement to the circuit court bench in 2005. He has loyally performed his judicial duty to the citizens of the 10th Judicial Circuit for 17 years, for a total of 31 years of dedicated public service. Judge Estrada has been on more committees and boards than can be stated in our time today, but what I can say is that Judge Estrada truly embodies servant leadership and is the judge that all practitioners respect and enjoy appearing in front of. With that, I'd like to introduce you to Judge Peter Estrada.
I'm very honored to receive this award. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for consideration of me. And I wish I were with you there celebrating this award. Unfortunately, due to other commitments, being a member of the Inns of Court for the 10th Judicial Circuit, I'm attending that function tonight. I think that my story is like any other story that can be told about families that come to this great country seeking a better way of life. And in my case, that's what my family did. Two sides came to this great country to seek more opportunity, not only economically, but educational, and most importantly, the freedoms that this great nation provides for its members of its community. And that was hammered into me from an early age. And the fact that I never got to meet my two grandparents on my real Cuban side, because they were left behind on an island where tyranny took control of their world, that I'm honored to be their first American-born grandchild and sitting as a circuit court judge. My accomplishments are just because of two hardworking people who taught me the values of American life, taught me the importance of what it means to be a member of this great country, and most importantly, that the rule of law is the most important thing we can have. So I don't consider myself a trailblazer, but I do consider, and I'm very honored to be the grandson of Felix and Maria Pereira. And I'm hoping that they are seeing me get this award, since they probably have the best seat in the house, and knowing that their youngest grandchild has excelled in a profession where the rule of law is what matters. Thank you again.
Thank you, Judge Estrada, President Roberts. That brings us to the conclusion of this year's Jurist. We hope you've enjoyed the last hour and a half. Thank you to President Gary Lesser. Thank you to our sponsor, Roland Sanchez Medina, Braulio.
Special thank you again to the organizations involved that made this a statewide effort. And thank you to tonight's honorees. You make nuestra gente proud, muy orgulloso. We hope to see you all around next year for our 4th annual Florida Jurist. And if you're in our neck of the woods here in Broward, for our Noche Latina that will be coming up, and we'll have paella, dominoes, cocktails. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month, and
buenas noches a todos.
A todos. Good night, everyone.